Yeah, it's a long story. I pray to God for my success. I pray to God for my victory. I pray to God for my favor. My sister, don't envy me. My brother, don't envy me. My sister, don't envy me. I pray to God for my blessing today. I pray to God for my healing. I pray to God for my children. I pray to God for my marriage every day. Hey, hey, I pray to God for my favor. I say, I pray to God. He give it to me. I pray to God. He bless my life. I pray.
Good evening, folks. I'm Alfonso Zia Sort of the Lpr Public Radio and the Lpr-Tv. Welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for joining us here. This beautiful Sunday evening here. This is how we want to begin this program here. Welcome to the show. And I think we're going to have this line open to speak your minds on some of the things that are happening inside Liberia. A black gay is making a contribution here. Ben is making a contribution here this evening. We want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us here. Joe A. Lee, the man, is in the house. Happy Sunday. Felicia is here. These are our guys. We're out there, and sometimes we are so exhausted of just taking to take a rest. But we count, we believe in you. You trust us to have conversation, national conversation. So we always try to make that provision to always be here. So hopefully we're going to have an evening here. Sir Robert, New Dangwe. Okay, sir, what way? Hopefully I call it, not to call it in a kind of way, but just we say thank you. Charlie is in the house. Good evening. Welcome to the show. I am Alfonso Zian Sort of the Lpr Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. This Sunday edition right here. This evening on your diaspora informative news outlet Lpr Public Radio. Thank you so much for joining this evening here. We'll spend a little less time here. As you know, sometimes the body need extra rest. Well, let's have a conversation, and there are a few talking points here this evening, and we will get the ball rolling. So welcome to the show. Good evening. Thank you so much. Let's get a ball rolling. So welcome. Good to have you here. I'm Alfonso Zia Sort of the Lpr Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Today is Sunday. It's 8/14. Just gone a little bit late because there were multiple things that went on to right here in my own state. You know, as sometimes you have to attend these events. If you don't go, there's a problem, especially as family oriented or even BA friends that we all have to. We are in the community. These are all community initiative. Went to a baby shower, 60th birthday anniversary. We were just, the saying that say we were all sad last night. So a little bit exhaustion and kicks in, but that's okay. Good to have you here. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Zian. So again, happy Sunday, Marcos, and I hope all of you had a great time. Joe, I hope all of you have a good, nice, soft, quiet Sunday. Good food, good health of the family and the rest. as well. What hopefully the analysts will come on. Even at that, we will still have a conversation. Hopefully, we might spend like an hour, 30 minutes here this evening. Just to also give you a time so that you can get yourself prepared for Monday's work, first working day of the week. And so that is very much vital. But even at that, we need to have this conversation to make sure that we're doing what we are doing and what is happening as well. Okay, there are a few things here. The president is traveling, is out of the country to a variety of news information coming out, but something that caught my attention, and we are talking to our guys to verify this information. News reporter from the Verita News outlet, and we all are we are trying to verify these reports as well from the health authority. But my understanding from the asset, this seems to be true with respect to the not a strange news, but is there anything being done to address this issue? The HIV virus reports coming from inside Liberia, the country as a whole, it is alarming. I'm not sure what folks are on it, and these are just 21,600. You have 2,600 Moserado, Nima 1,600. I mean, just all over. It's a significant, very, very huge figure. Like I said, we are doing everything possible to see if we can get a pick from the health authorities inside Liberia, but from all indications, Variety is reporting, talking to other folks, it is true that is true. And if it is so, what is being done? It has to be addressed. And these are just reports of people who voluntarily show face. I think it is time to have these sort of conversation to pivot to some of these critical needs, some of these things that are potentially it can get a country into a very, very serious medical crisis, which of course is almost there. Counselors, you have to have people, expertise who will come to talk to people because, these things you and I know in our country, when you even try to be honest, you have been seen as a different person. Please bear with me. This microphone, for some reasons, I'm still trying to see what I can get a new one. This microphone been around for quite a while now, so I don't blame it. It's because it's a quality mic. That's why even up to this time, still living. But back to the point. It's important. If you see this sort of significant number, huge number of people coming forward to say, this is who I am, this is my conditions, that is the right thing to do. And we need to encourage that. And not just only encourage that, but something must be done to address this situation. Something must be done. I don't know yet, so I do not want to be judgmental, but the conversations in our communities, in our country, in our society, more or less has been driven, and other major issues has been downplayed. They are not getting the take, which I think is a potential problem for our country. So we will wait and see to verify this information, to talk to people, if possible, if authorities are willing to speak to us. Maybe we need to dispatch somebody because the Ministry of Health of the Republic of Liberia should be in the loop of what is going on. And if they are, what practically being done to address the situation, to arrest the situation? The days back, if that name, for whatever reason, was on you, you've been stigmatized, you see yourself as a complete rejection to society, nobody wants to do anything because there's no information, there is no good public awareness. How to respect people's privacies, even when it comes to their medical situation. And the notion, the perceptions of people, when somebody have it, it means they should not be, they should be isolated. I think that's just a wrong concept. And these are things that need to be talking about. People in the social services and things, it is time for them to come forward because these numbers are quite alarming. And I know most of you have seen it. Let me just go back to A here. 21,600 infected HIV persons from that is just in Mosorado County. They carried a jackpot, 21,600 infected HIV persons. From Mosorado, 2,000 according to the report, 2,600 in Lima, 1,600 in Maryland, 1,400 in Basel, 1,100 in Bond County, 1,000 in Lofa, 1,000 in Grand Jide, 500 in Cape Mount, 300 in Sino, 400 in Grand Cru, and 300 in Bapolo. That's huge. This is very, very, very huge. Something must be done if it is not being done actively, because if we get this number of people who came out voluntarily to say, this is my situation, I need help, I think that's just a good thing. But how are they be treated in a community, in a society? Is their privacy being fully protected? Are they getting the help that is needed to require? Nowadays, they have pills to keep you up and stuff like that. So they shouldn't be outcasts in society. But where are these institutions that are to provide these services here? You and I know, especially in the West here, I don't care whatever even if you are in hospital, if you are dying, they still make you feel like a human being. They will still provide that comfort, that counsel in you. But today, our conversation, all of us, is not addressing some of these critical issues. And these are things that paralyze the society in itself. So I'm going to open the line here. I see my man here. I know you like to Vincent Clara here, but whoever, just as a Liberian, this is something to Venetia, Joe, Keto, this is something that should claim out of our concern. If we have this sort of number of infected people in our society, something must be done to address it. It's alarming. We will wait. And I'm going to jump on this story here to do everything possible to get it in depth. Mr. Collins, Jared, happy Sunday. The link is out there just in case. And I apologize. I know I got a message out very late. Mr. Alvin Hayes is here. So these numbers are very significant. They are important. It's not like before. Now there is a solution. All of these help that we are seeking, are we also seeking help to get expertise? That these people, they must pay attention to them and not to be treated as the rejected elements of the society because they are HIV positive. I know how we treat people when it comes, because there's a few limited information in terms of how sometimes you can try these things, lack of information. But the mindset of people, when you get it out, you and nobody should even be in a household, all of that itself kills the person before even the treatments or whatever help can get on the way. So do we have those people to get all of these things that are going? That is important. Another thing I think we need to pay attention to is this to workshop forum. Tomorrow we'll try to go in depth. I try to piece the different types of videos. Our guys, they did an extraordinary job in Nima County recently. There was this summer here, the folks from the Ministry of Education, different interest groups, speakers, to try to address some of these issues. I think were quite fascinating. What we are concerned with now is the implementation aspect. And people are right. These flamboyant retreats go spend huge money, and then when they come there, there's no final communicate, there's no follow-up, there's no result, nothing happening. We too in the media industry, we do form part of that, because after this thing, we don't do a follow-up to the extent that it should be. So the boss, so we also drop the ball. But like senior management and everybody provided the resources to dispatch the team in Nima, and it was good. And I think the chair on education and the authority attended that. They were very, very, very much appreciated. Yeah, our understanding EABC was there, state run network, they were there, but more or less they were on the print. They were not doing the live streaming. I'm not sure why. But this is a very huge significance where you have over 5,000 teachers that are volunteering. That is a disaster. It's just enough a reason for us to see how the system has been going and some of the result things that are happening the way they are happening. Because when people are volunteering, uh, just bear in mind in Liberia, someone with a family size of 4, 5, 6, and they have children to go to school, to do other things, and they say, well, volunteering at the end of the day, is that what going to sustain the house? Is that how going to sustain the family size of the house? Absolutely not. And this is where the problem comes in, and things are compromised that shouldn't even happen in the first place. So they are concerned. I listen to a lot of professionals from different institutions, the civil society, people were there. So we will see. Our understanding there will be a follow-up. A mini conference will be heard again, where a final communique will be drawn out. Now, the Ministry of Education folks now calling on national government to provide more fundings for. And I listened to the onset, the speakers, some of them was very bold, were blunt to speak on the issues. So we shouldn't be surprised, see how much we are investing into education. Whatever you put inside is what you get. You pour less, you get less result. You pour good, you get a good result. And some of them were doing that. Some of the facilitators, the presenters, they were going through the different data system, making comparison to other countries. So that make the case of where they want to take the educational system in the country, and that has to be enhanced. So I had the opportunity to speak with the Ministry of Education, or even with the president. There will be a critical issue. The agriculture, that's another major sector, as you know, in a country, in order to be viable, in order to be relevant, in order to have stability, total stability and economic stability, you must be able to feed yourself. You must be able to feed yourself. If you can't feed yourself, that is a serious problem. It's a national security concern, and things going to happen. What's going on here? Just bear with me here. Okay, so it is. So we are waiting to see how it's going to play out. But I think steps are taken to address this issue, but enough. We want enough. We don't just want these steps taken and there's no finishing line. There's no finishing point. There is no end result. So these are some of the happening that we see here. Let's peruse over the print media in the country, some of the information. Just bear with me here a little bit as I take through this for point here, what the library investigator and front page and our own LPR folks are reporting as well. Let's see the library investigator. No, let me see here. Okay. Unsatisfied and overrule Kakata jailbreak free 100 inmates as security crumbles. Wow. Yeah. Mr. Davis, good evening. I think I need your expertise here this evening here. Let's talk about these huge reports of HIV. It's a long thing. It's not an overdue thing. We just all went to bed and we decided to forget about it. But the spike of this virus is heavy. Now, Senate set up committee to investigate budget tampering. This is something. This is something. Now, so who might have done this to temper to set up a committee? How many times these committees, constituting committees over committees, investigations over investigations, and at the end of the day, the citizens just left in darkness. Nothing is being talked about. They just come and brush over it. People are not reprimanded. People are not being held accountable for doing wrong, for robbing the country, for tampering with the rules, for doing things for their own personal aggrandizements, and politicians, their supporters, stakeholders become protective of them, and everything go down the hill. All we hear investigation, 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 and people are not being held accountable. People needs to be thrown in jail in that country. That's the only way, not just only thrown in jail. The consequences should be severe if they go through the court process and they are convicted. The consequences that will serve as a deterrent, but it's not happening. Every day, afternoon, evening, we're setting a committee investigation. How can people who already caused the problem, you can ask themselves to investigate themselves? Clarence Davis, tell me. Ali Ukraine, just tell me. Terry Allen, I'm already a person of interest, and you ask me to have myself investigated, and you expect to get a result, and you expect to convict myself? I never seen, unlike in this country, politicians, different group, professionals, they can come forward. Even though they were denied, but do we have the courage to come forward to say, hey, I take responsibility. It is my fault. But that's not easily done with our people. They never take responsibility. One of the legends in this business with a vast experience in security, he except that sometimes his political tie, what? Excuses, giving justifications, and try to deploy his security skill, which of course is something that I know is here. And he's a strong supporter of this administration. And they're speaking to the higher up to get all of these information. So my own sister Anna Inamrit, good to have you, Anna. Good evening. How is Minneapolis doing? Let me bring King to Jerry to back on Washington. So we are hearing some news. The president is going to a lot of places. What will come out of those places eventually? See, other ministers, director, they travel, they don't have nobody to go with. Let me bring King Mr. Jerry back on. Is standing by right here in my own state of in my proximity, Pawtucket, and is a senior contributor, analyst, security analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, LPR. Mr. Jerry Bacon is here. My man, every week, I thought when people getting older, every week you're growing, or when you put a new look. Is that a beauty of being around the first house?
I want to be. I put a big grease on my. That's what happened. I want to be under the washroom.
Yeah. I think we pray God. Hopefully, maybe 2029, we ourselves got to take position, because in our brother, if you say, let me be there where you on your own. You on your look at the guy whole neck, chest, everything. You even go here, you like that. Yeah, man. Okay, Mr. Bacon, Mr. Cummins, good evening. Mr. Bacon, good evening. Welcome. I know the link went out very late, but we're out. And I get a saying, like, bro, we're also
Yeah.
we were also
the child I said, my one,
yeah, we're having some free musical therapy to ease down through these stress and crazy letter. Then I can come in the mail. I saw one today. As soon as I opened it, I went straight to bed. Like, you know what? And I'm gonna make my article develop over something market. And this is the country. That's it. The country that make people learn the hard way. That's the only thing I like about it. And it's so hard because they will give you the chance, but when you downplay it, man, the consequences can be severe. They can entangle you all over the place. But I'm not going to say that one here, but I know, like the bamboo that one day I can't hear whistle sound. So it was one of these whistles. I didn't hear the sound, so it catch up with me. Okay, Mr. Bacon, good evening. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for our listener. Thank you to be back on Lpr.
Yeah. Good to have you here. Why is it frozen? Man, I mean, you're close to the mansion or your internet, and they're supposed to give you at unlimited internet where you can go anywhere in the mountain, in the cave. But only our own should be having the crocodile type, but now, man, you and the liberal.
My internet is strong. My internet is strong. Maybe from your end, my internet is strong.
Yeah, I like your that's African safari shirt, man. That's
Oh, thank you so much.
is that a gift from the president or
No, not the one. Okay, I'll wear it tomorrow.
the one from the president?
Yep. Got a Libra show tomorrow, so I'll wear only Libra show.
Oh, so you have your own thing now. This show is not. So this show is not for you. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, but see, we are Libra, so so I said tomorrow I'll wear the gown that the Excellency give me. I'll wear it tomorrow. This is the one. It's not here, but tomorrow I'll wear one of the gowns that the president gave me. Matter of fact, I give me 1, 2, 3, 3 gowns already. 3 gowns she had given me.
For what? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he's the president of the Republic of Liberia. He's also
the work that you did for him to get him to be in the Oval Office, or now you got what? Yeah, well,
because I did good work and he rewarded me.
For the president,
I did a good work and you. I did a good work and he rewarded me.
Wow. I want you to send you to what, national security or immigration. I don't want that counting there. I want you to go to Bureau of Immigration or maybe DEA. Okay, Mr. Bacon, good to have you. Thank you so much. Look, I was just talking about, and we challenged our guys to go to the final. I was just talking about this alarming report, news reported by Variety News with this outbreak, not outbreak, but I mean this huge HIV positive folks. The entire country is alarming. And I'm wondering whether the ministry.
I didn't get you. You are bringing it. I didn't get the story.
HIV.
Oh, HIV.
Infected HIV. I found in different parts of the country, most of Colorado, you have 21,600, according to the news. We are determined to verify this information. But people that we have spoken with already, they are alluded the fact that that seems to be the case. I'm wondering whether something has been done. 2,600 in Nima, 1,600 in Maryland, 1,400 in Basso, 1,100 in Bone County, 1,000 in Lofa, 1,000 in Granger, 500 in Cape Mount, River says 300, Sino 400, Grand Crew 300, Bapolu 300. Courtesy to Variety News, this is what we put in, but I will try to do what we can to follow the health authority. But I've been told this is the case. But I'm wondering what is being done in terms of the privacy of these people. This seems to be people who just came forward voluntarily. What happens to those who are still sitting and not coming forward because of people will be stigmatized, how community will perceive them to be, all of that. I'm wondering if much is being done, or are we just drawn into the politics of today's world? But maybe you have your own take, Janet. Let's see here. Let's get some unconfirmed information because you are closer with the inner cycle. The president is all out there flying thousands, hundreds of miles away. Without getting the official statement, what are you hearing? Any good news? Anything productive coming out? Are we getting enough information? This is why health people are going to take care of. But let me take you in the politics side and your area of expertise. What are you hearing from your folks outside of Liberia?
Well, I mean, everything the president is doing is out there. The president has secured $3 billion of dollars, and hundreds of thousands of dollars is coming to Liberia. To sign a memorandum of understanding. But these, I think, the president want to do. The president want to take off from the debt that we are owing, all the debt that we in, make sure that Liberia is get back on her feet. And look at the Minister of Labor said by some student will soon be having, I think, the Monserrato, Maikivi, and Grand Bassel, they will have vacation job, in regards to this thing. So yeah, positive things are coming out. And when we come on the air and we say times with time is asking, then we make sure that the president, His Excellency Mr. Buckeye, will do this thing, but they still come and be suffocating us that, oh, they're still saying the same thing over and over. It takes time to go through the process. And when, especially when you're in a hole, let me give you a typical example. You go to the bank, you're in negative. You have to pay your previous debt before you can get back into your positive to be able to get money in that account. So if you overdraw your account. So that's what it is. Oh, Mr. Buckeye is doing extremely well. Things going to fall in place, and he's doing extremely well.
I anticipated hearing that. But let me welcome my one of the minded persons on this network. Who will be able to set the stage? Who will be able to
tomorrow when we go? Let independent conference. The so-called independent, let him come.
When tomorrow comes, when you and your labor, when tomorrow comes, we shall talk about it. Tomorrow is still in the air, so we don't want to. We're talking about what is happening now. There will be what? So are we not fair?
Not fair.
So why you don't want to focus?
No, let him speak. Let him speak first. I will come out. Quiet, Dr. Miller. Quiet. How you doing this evening? How you doing?
Even speak he's okay. Don't worry about that. I will. So don't even panic about that. Dr. Malik, this guy, you have not even said anything. He's unleashing on you, not even on you, on us. This is just unbelievable. I just giving him the opportunity to tell us in there the inner cycle boys to give us something, and he coming back and telling us now why we are asking this question. But anyway, that is obvious. Dr. Malik, it's good evening and happy Sunday.
Yeah, happy Sunday to you, Mr. Barker, CEO. Welcome again.
Yeah, I don't know what you have on your belt, but I was just taking a review. The health, the news reported by Variety News, and I'm talking to our guys to reach to some of the health authority to verify these positive HIV cases that is over the roof. It's a serious concern. It's something being done and all of that. Tomorrow I'll try to put in the pieces of the different videos, the speakers. I think I want to do that and get them and throw them in that chat room for people to listen. Those who never had a chance to listen to the presentations. Your area, the education area, there was a forum here, and it ended. We're waiting to see. But other than that, I was just asking Mr. Barkon, the president is out there. They are the guys that are close with the bear, with the insider to give her a run through, and he giving us a smash down this evening, which of course is obvious. But let's hear you. Today is Sunday. So what are you doing? What you were reviewing during the weekend that is so concerning to you?
One of them is this ACE thing that I also read, and it seems to be the Liberian government, that is including His Excellency Joseph Barker government, it seems to be they are shutting the door on the issue of ACE, since it's no longer raising a very serious alarm around the world, where you have some medication try to slow down this thing. But when I read the story, it was a bit saddening, but I was more concerned about the avenue. Do we have people going to Liberia with ACE and they don't announce themselves, both tourists,
yes,
non-Liberian and Liberians going into the hotels where our girls are hanging around? They just have the disease spreading there for little or nothing. There were, when I read the story today, I begin to look at, because we have got more hotels and more drinking spots in Liberia now since the end of the Liberian Civil War, and most of the young girls our little girls who don't even have work to do, they hang around these places and people just abuse them. And I'm very sure some of these people sometimes they carry some of these viruses. That where my concern took me today. Yes,
I can't believe
there were
Terry.
my concern took.
Terry, Dr. Mali, we on our own. Terry is gone. You see what Terry did? He decided to do his stuff with Jerry Bacon. So as of today, I'm not going to intrude into Jerry Bacon, Terry, and the Liberal. We are on our own. We need to stand and fight for this network. He did it on purpose. Probably Jerry Bacon sent him a message, my man, stick on board, and guess what? Who knows? Their guy, the old man is on their way here. So Terry now is walking fine line. Mr. Collins, good evening. Welcome. Yeah.
Good
Yes,
evening, Mr. School, and to the panel, the independent voices, in person of Dr. Mali,
Are you
and
afraid to
also,
call it? Of course, he's independent.
thank you,
yeah, I
Collins.
must recognize the title, even though the liberal
Yeah,
have question with it, but I'm not liberal, so I will
very
give you
good.
your title because I think it's justifiable enough. But the only person I don't agree with that he's an independent voice is your man Keto. I don't agree with that, but I agree that you and Dr. Mali are independent voices.
Okay, Madam Fatuma V.S. Sherry. When I sit down,
Yeah,
Fatu finally admitted I'm an independent guy. She sent a message, say, only thing you and Dr. Mali, I hear you about, the labor and Mr. Bacon, we are the public people, the way I can go so hard. So I get a message when she tried to send it out, they put it up there, but I will hold that in confidence. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
so Dr. Mali.
yeah. So to rather conclude, it's a very difficult thing to fight. The ace thing, and there are a lot of injustices in our whole thing, and it's that the government have got what I call a holistic priority. I mean, a holistic thing to do. But I've been trying to really look at the government priority right now. What is His Excellency 5 major priority right now? It's very difficult to really point out because, as Mr. Bacon already saying, to have a successful, a comprehensive package of development going in Liberia, in the absence of judicial reform, in the absence of the culture of impunity, in the absence of rampant corruption, if all these things are in place and you telling me you will have a successful and a comprehensive package of development coming into Liberia, I doubt it. I don't know what a miracle is going to come from. Because if an investor comes to Liberia today and he's pushing one corner, he go to the judiciary and people are bribing all over the place and they can't get justice. I don't know how can we achieve this type of development. I agree with you, Mr. Bacon. The Excellency is making some headway. But what is the Excellency priorities? Are we jumping over judicial reform that the State Department talk about? Are we jumping over culture of impunity? Are we jumping over the rampant corruption thing? I think these are priorities we need to put under control, then start moving in now to tangibles.
Moving into tangibles. I'm not sure what Mr. Collins is in agreement. Mr. Collins, good evening.
Anything short of this? Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Yeah, I said anything short of this.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry, sir. Go ahead.
No, go carry it. I just want to point something out. We got to call these guys out, but anything short of they go out there first.
Yes.
Mr. Collins.
Anything short of this, because I believe these things should have been the first priority on His Excellency decks, judicial reform. And Morocco pointed it out. So Morocco will help out with the money to carry on the reform. Okay? The culture of impunity. How are we reducing it? The serial killing started long ago. Up to now, most of the people that they kill in our country mysteriously, the killers are still on the run. The killers are still on the run. Are you telling me the killer will still be on the run under Joseph Baka government? Mr. Bacon is a security man. He has to answer that for me tonight.
Okay. But you know one thing I noticed?
No.
We gotta pray and be strong to remain this independent because it's good for the country. Look at Mr. Bacon, look at Terry. See in the last 8 months how they have changed. Terry neck said you can't even see a neck. Oh, Jerry now his neck all gone inside. Look at me, look at you. People seeing us here. You see how it's good to be around the presidency to be. Now this is where the trouble comes from. Okay, but let me go to Mr. Collins. Mr. Collins, happy Sunday. Good to have you here. Thank you for all what you do, not just only for this network, but this sort of information sharing for our people here. I know you have your own avatar on the bell, but this is what we throw. But welcome. Let's hear you this Sunday evenings. What do you have to dish out to our viewers? You want to unmute your mic, Terry?
Thank you, Mr. So, and to the panel, Dr. Jones, and all of that. Yeah, we're not licking some of that ice cream. That just natural blessing from God made us to look the way we are, right, Mr. Bacon?
God, I know that. Only you alone. Only you alone. God bless
but you said, look at how sharp you are. I can be reading all your pictures online secretly. You can see yourself.
Look at you. Look at Jared. This is amazing.
And the man was wearing the turbo hat. You know that turbo hat that what the man was wearing in.
What will it?
That same stuff. I said, but Doug, the CEO not easy to do.
Don't change the conversation. Don't change the conversation. You're trying to run away from it. You're trying to hide from your shadow here. Don't even go there with me.
But to the issue here, right? I hear Dr. Mali talking about judicial reform, that he thought JMB were going to attack you. Judicial reform is not just a magical thing that can happen in 7 months. Judicial reform have to go through. Oh yeah, Fatima, Fatima going to we are liberal.
We are on. That's the liberal. The liberal has spread. He has sold this seed of. So well, to respect their view. But go ahead, Mr. Collins.
So it's difficult to do judicial reform in a country like Liberia single-handedly with a budget of 600 million. It's not possible, Dr. Mali. Judicial reform can only come as a result of the coherence of the 3 branches of government in agreement with, to have that reform, that in the first thing, and judicial reforms must go along with auditing. The judiciary cannot be audited by the executive. They have to request the audit, and the audit have to be done holistically across all judicial branches and all of that. That should be done because they are separate branch of government with equal power with the 2 branches of government. So it has to be done in that way to be able to experience first a judicial reform, and that can only happen when the international community comes in. And they also have to be willing. So it's not possible. You talk about killings and all that. Even in the great United States of America, it takes 20 years, it takes 10 years, 15 years just for people to uncover the killer responsible for homicide, murder, manslaughter, and all that. And we do not even have the technical instruments, the technology to be able to carry on rapid investigation that will lead to, the suspect being exposed and being captured or being arrested. If Mr. Bacon could help me in that regard. So, JMB just coming to power, you don't expect him to be able to go after these things, because even though all these things are on the docket, but they are convoluted with a lot of different intricacies that have to require a proper investigation that would take a long period of time, and with the lack of the technical know-how and the technologies to be able to arrest these people these suspects, I think that is going to be a long way coming. So I would not want to put all that blame on JMB. But yes, when you talk about issues that need to be addressed, like the transportation issues in the country, people not being able to get home on time, people fighting for car to get in car, I agree. That need to be addressed. For the roads in and around Montserrat County, all right, just to get from Monrovia to Douala, all our rules, those things, when you talk about, those are things that JMB need to address now, right now. I will agree with you. When you talk about auditing and acting upon the audits that have been audited, those are things that that JMB need to address. Like I heard Mr. So discussing on, there's a missing $20 million that the both houses are still contemplating on how to do. I thought that was something that we could look at tonight. I think it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, you can lead that way. Dr. Malley.
Yes.
Do you see the deliberate support these guys? This guy, he trying to. I don't like grumpy soup. Yeah, okra and thing there. I want something that will stay in my stomach that can hold me up. You see what Jerry Bacon and Terry, they are putting a straight jacket on us. This other one can be immediate, but this one here, we don't have the technical skill, we don't have the technical know-how. I'm wondering whether we had those yesterday. But Terry now has been very, very calculative, and I have no doubt Jerry concords with him. And that's why you see, other than in the same suit, maybe Terry forget away on an African shirt. But Jerry, I'm not going to bring you here. If you like, say we can suffocate you because you guys want to start complete tabata this evening here. Dr. Malley.
Can I make some point of interjection here? You see, we were very vocal in holding His Excellency, former President Weah legs to the fire. We were very vocal when the State Department came up with their report. We did not manufacture this. So if Mr. Collins is telling me that these are independent places, the president has the power to use his executive power to announce something. The president had never wanted to even talk about judicial reform in the first place, which is not a crime. To even talk about it, it's not a crime, right? Second, the president had never even talked one day about the mysterious disappearances and what he has mandated his police to do. The killers need to be found. People creating a terrorist system in our country. We experienced this thing before, for which we even concluded that His Excellency, former President Weah, was taking Liberia in the wrong direction. Now, if I get a supporter of JMB telling me that is not a priority now, that is not a priority now, something that affects the society, something that can even drive away your investor. There are some places in Liberia. There are some places in Liberia is complete. They are completed no-go era. So are you telling me JMB is now in the business of fostering business as usual? That's my question here. All right? Because those are significant priority. And to the issue of funding, Mr. Terry and Mr. Collins, the State Department raised the issue. Make a case. Go back to the State Department. Say, okay, you raised the issue about the judicial reform. This is our 7 to 8 million package we are proposing for the reform. Trust me. This is what Uncle Sam like to see. They will help you. They will bring people to even train judiciary. They will train people. They will do a whole lot of stuff. They will send you material. Then you're telling me it's business as usual? When justice in Liberia is only for the rich? Really? Under the rescue team? And you're telling me it's not a priority? God bless Liberia.
God bless Liberia. And just to add a little, so I'm coming. We will give you guys the chance. You're going to have an opportunity God bless Liberia. Just to add a little parcel on there, you saw Jerry is holding his head. That's their own migrant. They are
He
trying
gave me a headache. He gave me a
they're
headache.
trying to transfer to us. Now, Jerry back on. Terry is now saying, Terry Collins, who I thought was a moderate, but now his tune has changed completely. He's been initiated, he's been brought into the system. He's telling us now, they're putting straight jacket on us. Yesterday, when we not bad, when we were speaking, like, we were very vocal, like Dr. Mali said, on some of those field actions that was in taken on a George Weah. Terry is creating a demarcation now. Oh, they want no technical, they want this one, not do this one. We can't talk this one here, but this one here, this is what GMB wants to do. Oh, so we never wanted immediate results when people when we wanted these when we wanted a result from the auditors that were killed. It's now, Terry, you know that these investigations take 20 years, 30 years because we do not have the technology. Do we have the technology? The technology was there yesterday, but it disappeared to come. Jerry Bacon, let me give you the opportunity. I thought we were going to have a soft Sunday evening, but you guys has brought in something that will compel us to go a little bit ballistic. Jerry Bacon, do you concur with Terry?
Oh, listen, Mr. So, why you try to be assassin on the show today, on Sunday? Why you try to be assassin? Listen to yourself. The people who die, the auditor you're talking about is a personal friend of mine. His wife is a personal friend of mine. His sister is a personal friend of mine. His sister husband is a personal friend of mine. So we're in sympathy with these people. There's no way we'll be swept under the rug. There's no insinuation here. These things are priority, no matter how long it takes. Some of us, we are going Liberia and we're going to make our sacrifices, even if we have our own
Where
private.
you going? Where will you go? Come on.
You see, that's one thing I think. You always suffocating people when people are ready to talk something. You always come in and just stop people, But you're not going to discourage me. But however, here's what I want to say. This man death is not going to go unpunished. As long as I live, it's not going to go unpunished. As long as I live, no matter whether I work in the government, I do not work in the government, it's my priority. Number one, I said on this show one day, I think about a month ago, there's a job opportunity for me at one of the university. I'm going to go there to help the Justice Department, Criminal Justice Department. And these are my priority. I'm going to make. But yeah, but they don't want to say, Mr. No, I come in. Tata Miller, he make a reference. The Excellency, the President, Republic of Liberia, he met with the three branches of government, I believe, a month ago, to lay down his priority on judiciary, the legislature, and the executive. And he make a point, loud and clear. If you can go back, Mr. Mali, name me one point, name me one place in the Republic of Liberia where there's no go zone. Name me one county.
Kerry Street.
Name me one county.
Kerry Street.
I don't know what part of Kerry Street you're talking about, but I don't know when the last time you were there to say, yeah, Kerry Street, there's no go zone. The criminality or the criminals are taking over the or Kerry Street. I don't know where part of whether it's East Kerry Street or Western Kerry Street. So I don't know where part of or Central Kerry Street. I don't know what part of Kerry Street you're talking about. But yes, I think that we're talking about. So we gotta be very careful how we make some statement on the show.
Red light.
There's no go zone. If that is the case, then there will be no market moving, be selling market in that place. But here's the thing I want to say to you.
At 9 o'clock, you can't move around red light, my brother.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me get
I come in let me learn.
Yeah, let me make a point that will come to
you talk about investigation. It takes time. Even the FBI.
Oh, really?
Hold on. No, you know how long it took before they killed Bin Laden? Or Bin Laden was killed? Or Bin Laden was captured? You know how many years? It took 10 years. No. You see, so let's look. Let us not make the kind of prerogative or remarks and say this was, oh, this one, Mr. Baga should do this, or Mr. Baga should have done this. You know how long it took before we kept up in Latin? 10 years. 10 years. Took a decade. They put more investigated instrument or intelligence collecting. So it takes time. And nobody gonna suffocate Mr. Buckeye administration. This is Mr. Buckeye priority number one. Those people who kill this individual in our country, they will be punished, they will be arrested. And let me conclude with this. Today, I came with a mindset on a database. And luckily, you brought a HIV issue. You know, something while coming today, I will do a research on our database. We do not have a complete database in our country. How many persons have HIV? How many female? How many male? These are the things the health ministry, try to put policy in place. Mr. So it's a cool topic. Now he diverts the whole thing about no. There's a good topic you brought this evening about the HIV issue. So I said this thing for the discuss.
Of course, and we're still open to that.
Okay. But here you are talking about, we say yesterday, yes, you know what Bill Clinton come in and say yesterday, then gone, we're thinking about tomorrow. That's what we are thinking about. Waka is moving forward. Waka is moving forward. It's not something that we're going to keep looking beyond. We're not using a V-mirror or program here, imaging. Waka is moving forward. SLS is moving forward.
Okay.
Thank you.
And that's what that's what I want to see. I want to see the country moving forward. Let's welcome my the independent guy, even though Mr. Collins say he's not. Collins sort of categorically to reject your independence, but that his view, that his opinion. Mr. Walton Kettot is a senior contributor of the Liberia Public Radio and more or less in the column of the independent-minded folks on this network. Good evening. How is Connecticut doing this today? By the way, in a constitution state, and so you guys put people into check, I wouldn't be surprised. The Tabata Jerry Baker was on here. It's fire at him. Let me hear you.
Thank you, the CEO and a great independent voice. Also like to greet Mr. Baker, who also is an independent, and to my brother Terry and Mr. Jerry Baker from the far left extreme. I would like to say welcome and happy Sunday to all of us. So I was finding a conversation, judicial reform, and it was just good that I heard Terry discuss it, and he said, I don't think it's ever time for this president to have other pressing issue, and Mr. Baker alluded to it not too long, wanting the CEO to go into talking about AIDS and other stuff in Liberia to divert the attention from some of the serious issue that has to do with the judiciary. Unfortunately, this government is not the right government to even do the judiciary reform. Because from the get-go, the executive was meddling in the affairs of the judiciary, controlling the judiciary to tell the judiciary not to be listening to a case between two private citizens. That's not the work of the executive. So when we talk about the judiciary reform, for me is impossible for we to have a reform when the justice system in Liberia under this administration, when this administration is trying to even control that branch of government, the executive trying to control that branch of government. And so there's no way these guys can come here and speak about it. This is the reason why Terry said, it's not time for it. And Mr. Bakum says you should change your topic. Go back to talking about AIDS, not talking about that. Because it's a sad day and a sad time in our society where we break the laws of our country, when we directly violate our constitution and get away with impunity, and people justify it, bringing in yellow machine in the country and don't even follow the procurement law in the country and tell us that these things gonna happen. And, it was a how you call it, gentleman agreement, and lied to the legislator that he that was his friend. And so at the end of the day, you don't expect nothing to change. You don't expect for the system to work for ordinary Liberians. You don't expect for even the system to work for foreigners, because the system only works for people who in power. Today, Gloria Musu is working scotch-free, left jail. The ruling establishment celebrating her for leaving jail. You understand? And this is where we are. So I don't expect Mr. Bakon and my brother Terry to come here and say, yes, we need some reform in the system and we need it now. We need it now. Because if we don't need it now, when we're going to need it? And we should be serious when we discuss these things.
Okay. Let me give Terry the opportunity, but let's acknowledge our high committee folks here. Always here with us, Mr. Famulet right there from President, I believe. Be thankful to Alice is here, to Wanda, to Monibus, the Aaron top of let's assume former legend, strong supporter of former President William Mohammed Keita, Jacob, to Milot Kekula. So Terry, your name was called multiple of times. We always like to give people second 10 chances. That's the work of the independent. They allow you to see if you can readjust your positions. Keto call your name multiple of times. Any change in your first thought before you react to whatever we have said? Any change?
My position remains constant, Mr. So, and I can defend myself even when it seems like I'm drowning in the water. What I want to say is that I did not condemn judicial reform, and I did not say that judicial reform is not important for our society. And what we need to differentiate judicial reform from investigations being held on criminal matters. They are not the same. You understand? So colliding or making the two of them to be the same, I don't understand it. But I did not also say that pending investigation should not be adhered to. All right? Like the auditors that die and all of those things. What I'm saying is that when it comes to investigation, we need technicalities to prove this investigation and to be able to arrest the right suspect. If you don't have the technicalities and you don't have the technology, you will not be able to arrive at the result required or the result that you're supposed to arrive to. We just saw the misappropriation of the law done under the CDC-led government, wherein they wrongly accused a woman, a reputable woman in the court of law, proven to be compromising with jurors to convict the woman to prison for lifetime prison. We're all proving that this woman we're all proving a murder weapon, and we're all proving the woman direct link to the victim. All right? We saw that investigation poorly handled by the police and poorly handled by the judicial system, and this government had to come before it was corrected, and this woman who was falsely accused have been now vindicated. All right? So we see that it was not only that the judicial system was under President Weah was being poorly handled. It was that people were being threatened. Their lives were being threatened. That is why probably the law was not enforced the way it's supposed to be enforced, because we had a tyrannic authority in power that was literally threatening the lives of people overnight for them to go a certain way in order to get their will accomplished.
Did I hear you saying tyrannic leader? Who?
Yeah, tyrannic.
Is that a past administration you're referring to? Or
yes, this past administration stopped media dissemination of information. There were radio stations that were shut down under the past administration. There were radio talk show hosts that was stopped. His radio station were vandalized, and his instrument were taken away from him. We saw that happen. We saw the president saying clearly before everybody that he would not allow anybody to abuse the president.
Quickly, you make a before you proceed.
Those are symptoms of tyranny.
Yeah, you make a good argument here initially, but I will follow up. You make a good argument in terms of, that's why for us, we are independent. And so we speak with objectivity. We are not subjective. We don't insert our views and opinion. But you spoke a very good argument in the sense that people, we should distinguish investigations and then that of judicial reforms, which is 100% correct. When there is if there's an ongoing investigation, so the president does not have that constitutional authority to intervene in that, which is good, and no any other person, unless where there's a conviction or something, then of course it comes in, which is a good thing. But you are also arguing that there's no technical. Did I hear you saying there was no technical materials or stuff like that to carry on forensic? Is that the case? You're talking. So let me ask you, were they there yesterday and they disappeared now, or what?
They were there yesterday, but the approach with the government presentation on matters involving critical issues was very poor, leaving the populace, leaving the people in suspicion of the government partaking in those murders. And that is what brought us in to condemn the investigation done by the government. For example, even if you don't have the technicalities, you don't have the technology, all right, to quickly investigate these major murders that went on in the country on your auditors, you don't have to give flimsy reports like the two people were in the car, they were having an affair, and that is what they're finding for, that these people died from the smoke in the car. Obviously, you leave the public to speculate and make opinions a judgment as regarding the government involvement in these murders, and that is what we're saying. That's
a good one. That was a very careless, loose statement from the higher up, because those things to give investigation a chance. Now you gave Jerry back on the legs. He coming to wrong with it. I'll be coming back to you, Keto and Dr. Jones. I don't want them to feel that we are ostracizing, because that's the talking point they are looking for. Jerry is looking for to take to their godfather, to the liberal progressive. We will not give them that chance. We ask all of these tough questions. Mr. Bacon.
Yes.
Let me just bring you in here. You listen to Keto's argument. Terry came back. Who you want to buttress? What's your version?
But you know what? Keto's a part of Tabata here. That's what I'm going to listen to. But anyway, maybe he have forgotten. He need to do. Here is the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. There was no dissenting in their ruling on account of SCAT. There was no dissenting. Unanimous decision. No dissenting. That was number one. Number two, he talked about two private individual cases. He never mentioned who are the two private cases that were going to, and the Excellency, the president intervened. So two can fabricate story here. This are the thing we talk. Here is the president, the Minister of Education. This I think is supposed to be talking. Here the Minister of Education this weekend in Ganta, having meeting how to solve our education system in our country. These are the issues Mr. Bakai, His Excellency, the president, want to articulate to the Liberian people that, look, I am here, we're in a hole, I'm digging it out, I just put a ladder down there, we'll try to get you out of the hole. So, the Supreme Court of Republic of Liberia make this decision that the government did not prove that can be unreasonable doubt. You cannot incarcerate somebody for the rest of their life whereby there is no, first of all, there was no corporate deleter. The corporate deleter is mean the body of evidence. Where's the body of evidence? So they tray out. They tray out. Folks, this administration, it is willing and is determined that those perpetrators who committed a heinous crime will be prosecuted. They will be, if they are guilty or found guilty, they will spend the rest of their life in jail or behind bars. So it's not nothing for us to sit down here tonight and argue about it. And my dear brother, Brother Toto will come here and say, oh, Mr. Buckeye interfere in judicial reform. What are you talking about? Judicial reform? There are three branches. Well, come in, sir. There are three branches of government. Mr. Buckeye had, His Excellency the President, had meeting with the three branches of government, and he laid out a policy, what he want to do. So, Mr. Buckeye, His Excellency, the President of Republic of Liberia, is willing to do what is in the best interest of our government. Let me conclude with Dr. Morgan. You question you ask, 5 questions you ask. The judicial system, the cases that you're talking about, or with a report from the State Department. You know what? The State Department, it is one really serious about issue reform in Liberia. Let us step out of the plate. Don't just do the talk and just talk. Show your juice. Say, look, we're giving you $10 million for one reform in the judicial system. We're giving you $5 million. I'm not saying they just throw money out there, but go there. Train our justice system. Wherever you find a fault. But don't just say because you feel saying it. Show your juice. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Mali?
Yeah, I'll point of correction first to Mr. Barkon, starting from bottom up. Mr. Barkon should know that the State Department don't just have money to spread around.
That's what I just said. I said if they know something.
Any chance, Mr. Barkon, you are talking, I kept my gun to my chest. I said, the State Department.
He's a co-host, so he has the right to intrude to who you are. So
the State Department, America is the richest country on the face of the earth. They don't go spraying money around. America runs a responsible and democratically elected government. If they found point on you, you make your case and ask for support. They will come to your rescue. Now, one good thing I know about the United States of America. Make your case. Has the Excellency ever made his case? So yes, you get me into your document. You are accused the former government of judicial malpractices, this, that. Okay, we are embarking on judicial reform. This is our objective. This is our goal. This is our budget. We want your help. We don't want for our judicial system to get into the State Department report again. Put America to the test and see what America will do for you. All the things you said, His Excellency met the 3 branches, the other 2 branches of government to talk. Now, one day, I heard about judicial reform. Now, one day, even in that discussion, I never heard it there. And say you proved me wrong with your facts. Okay, as Terry said, it is not a priority now. And I just want to tell Terry that every responsible government in the world, their first priority, their first agenda of operation is to protect the lives of their citizens. First priority. All other things will follow. But if you're telling me protecting the life of the citizen is at the bottom, then you put the education up, then you put the whole lot of things up, agriculture up, then there's something wrong. Something wrong with your priority. We say His Excellency never protected the people. He even told the people you got to protect yourself. Okay. We say, oh, we scared. His Excellency has come in. If he say he doesn't have power over those people, okay, talk about it. Just talk about it. That alone, I think it will give me some hope. It will give me some little hope. Okay? This thing had not been spoken about. So what I see in Liberia now is business as usual. His Excellency he doesn't feel that there's a problem with the judiciary. No, I don't think so. No, not at all. Because if that were the case, his legal section here wouldn't have interfered when there was a case down there. And these are things that are associated with Georgia government. They get interfered all over the place. Okay? So some of the things that happen in Georgia government, they stay happening in this very government. The 22 million issue at the public work. How you call that? That's not bread and butter issue. That's a serious business down there.
Is anybody being here responsible for that, or another investigation?
CEO, you going too far to people being here responsible. Let's go for inauguration day results. These are the things we hold we are for. He can't talk to the people. All right? Let's go to the money business that were involved in it.
I think Terry want to say something. Let's be fair.
No, Terry got away gone.
Hold on, Dr. Jones.
Okay, let me just learn.
Yeah,
the Sawyer women issue.
Oh,
we saw His Excellency was never talking to the people, telling them about the outcome of certain thing. The Sawyer women issue. What happened to it? They took the boss man from the defense ministry when he resigned. Where did they send him? They sent him to NSA. Those are Georgia operations. Why are we experiencing these things?
Dr. Jones, you are causing serious embarrassment.
I cease fire.
Let a flash charge down to Kola home. So when they don't allow you to land you on your own there. But I think not Jones, Bacon and Terry now found themselves somewhere they never anticipated coming forward. So let me welcome one of my strong ally in this business, Madam Esther Clark Frederick. Fatu be picking I don't mind Fatu. Fatu already finished sending messages. She now will labor there again. But look, Terry, I think Dr. Jones strikes some point though. Let me hear you quickly before I go to Captain.
Dr. June is all over the place jumping. We discussing judiciary and investigation. He's jumping to what is in what he was just he said.
CEO, no. CEO, let me put a correction here.
Wait.
I'm making point of correction.
Because you the co-host.
You went and borrowed a whole lot of things you brought into the package. Our own judicial reform. All right? You brought in about corruption. You brought in about the killing of those people then. You brought in a whole lot of stuff. I didn't talk. We are talking about judicial reform. I said, His Excellency had not even spoken about this thing. Not at all.
Mr. Mali, you talk about the first priority of the president is to save the state. Do you also know that education, and you mentioned education, do you also know that education is part of saving the state?
No, point of correction. I didn't say save the state. I said the first priority.
To protect the citizens.
No, I didn't say save the state.
Okay, what
I said to protect the lives of the citizens. I didn't say
but that's what we're saying. I don't have to say
I don't want to. Listen. I'm not concerned about saving the state. I'm concerned about the protection of the life of the citizen.
But that's the same life of the citizen. Let me quote your word for word. Saving the life of the citizen involve education, involve health, involve the security apparatus and everything. Saving the life of the citizen do not only involve security.
No,
it don't only involve security. And this government is doing just that.
The last time I checked, he made a point.
The last time I checked, when Gregory Coleman took over, all right, he gave an update about all of the cases that were on the docket from the previous government, and some of those cases were reopened, and he gave explanation on the arm deal that came in that people were accusing Jefferson Koji of. He clarified that. He also gave analysis on some of the cases that they are hindering in regards to the killing of those auditors, that those cases were reopened and is being looked into. And also some murder cases, all right? And these guys have been working. And he told you, he explained to you, he sent for other guys to come in from the US to give explanation as to the community approach to policing. Do you see all of that? He is making significant steps in regards to providing security for the life and safety of our people. So we got to look at these things. When you talk about education, you were just mentioning how that Mr. So and this network provided resources for journalists to go and tap into information just held in Nima County in regards to education. All right. And the result from those meetings is very, very good. So you cannot say that we are not providing security or we are not providing safety for our people.
Okay, so in the interest, before I go to Keto, in the interest of fairness and for the benefit, not for us, we sit here as a facilitator and processing this information for our consumers, that's the viewers, the listeners, to get a clear-cut information. So we'll be taking note when our fellow colleague analyst speaking and just jot down the points so that that way we can have a stable. We don't want to be like I don't want to call anybody because Jerry. Yeah, but Terry, you talking about education. When I brought this form here, your liberal, Jerry Bacon patron, his friend, the first thing that came out of that old man was, you're going to eat money. Can you imagine what the speaker going to do there? What the other one going to do there? Jerry did not call him to order. Jerry Bacon sat quietly and supported the liberals going down to the slope and was just rolling himself. Only later on for them to come to their senses to say, oh, Mr. So you were on the right side of history. But let me go to Wilton Kettle and Mr. Bacon will have his day in court. Maybe I will have Dr. Malice to be the judge. So, Wilton, Kettle.
Yeah.
Collins and Bacon coming at you in a whatever time. So let's hear you. But before you come, let me just pick up the call. I don't want to interrupt you. Let's pick up this caller here. We got to have our guys to participate. Calling from Atlanta, Georgia, is Mr. Aaron Tupoplet. Aaron, good evening. Happy Sunday. Good to have you here.
Happy Sunday to you guys. How you guys doing?
Good. Yeah, we are. They said yesterday there was no technical things and they were there, they disappeared. We must give them time, the security. But of course, they also made a good argument where the hair of, was quick. And I think that's where I personally feel then the former president screwed up because that was a big case. And to just jump into the old boyfriend, girlfriend thing, okay, that was a loose one, but these guys are going to hold on to that. They're not going to let it go. And that's exactly what Terry and Jerry Bacon have now as their trump card. Let's hear you.
Mr. So, I'm surprised at Terry. Mr. Bacon just came on the show not too long before the election and after the election. So, the level of conversation that was going on between Terry, you, and the rest of the other panelists, and I, and other people, other callers, maybe Mr. Bacon didn't listen to it. I'm shocked at Terry today for Terry to say, it takes 10 years to solve a murder case. It takes 4 years to, we said these same things before, that murder cases takes time. Okay? These are the same propagandas that we're talking about that brought this government to power. They held the former government feet to the fire. Now the same thing now is standing around. Why they're not coming up with solving cases, coming up with rulings and stuff like that. Now they're saying these things take time. It takes time. But they never knew that doing President we had time, things took time as well. So I'm just surprised. I don't know. I mean, it's a real hypocrisy going on. Okay, you want one government to do something as fast as you wanted it, but now it's your government. Now you say it takes time. It takes time. We all agree, and we said that before. You know, cases take time to be solved, especially in Liberia where they don't have forensics. They don't have a whole lot of things in Liberia.
So
I think they're just going to get on and just solve cases.
So quickly, Aaron, is it fair on the part of Terry as well when he was making the case? And I just want to get a personal own as a Liberian. So when the former president insulted himself by making that statement, while the case, I see the case to be an active case, when the first thing came from another president, boyfriend, girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. You know, do you think there was errors on the part of the president?
I agree with that. Maybe he misspoke. I wasn't in his mind at the time. He shouldn't have said that. I understand. But those are the mistakes that he made that brought this government to power today. So this government now needs to take the matter by the hair and move forward instead of giving the same excuses that when we were giving them last time, they were saying it wasn't right, Mr. So.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that comment was. I mean, the president is the leader for the country, and every citizen life, you know, is important to the president. So if somebody died, the president should, you know, to speak to the nation, you know, or console people and things like that. Understand that. But if you misspoke, yeah, I mean, you're a human being. Everybody make mistakes.
Somebody said that was a liquor talk. Do you agree with that person, the president?
No, I don't agree with that person. Yeah,
only Mono you do it won't liquor talk. I don't think the president.
No, I don't think the president will get on a world stage or on a stage to speak to the nation and say it's a liquor talk. I mean, I don't believe in that. But you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, Terry then needs to understand that now the boys in their court, we will chastise them the same way they did us. That's all.
Oh, that is really okay, my man. Aaron, thank you so much. Okay, let's get our main contributor is on the line from Minneapolis. I think Terry has provoked this conversation. Elvis Morris is joining us. Elvis, happy Sunday. Good to have you here.
Sunday to you all, Mr. Soul, Terry, Mr. Barco, and Dr. Mali.
Okay. Okay,
Look,
let's hear you.
I won't ask Dr. Mali a question, but I'll ask my question, but you might not answer it until I get off the phone. Say you don't want a doctor of education on the platform because I said the other answer is baffling to me. Dr. Mali.
Yes, sir.
Somebody told me that we don't need to have oil in Grand Bassa County before the people build oil refinery. So I just want you to explain to us what sense that one made. Yeah, that they should build a refinery first from China, and then we'll find the oil later to refine. So I want you to answer that question for me later on. But let me say this: the comment that Terry made was, I mean, Terry, you know, I don't know how you can call it a political zigzag. You can go so you come out, you go so you come out. Because for you to say that there is not enough, you know, advancement when it comes to crime solving, like for the United Party government to solve the crime that was perpetrated under President Williams' administration, is a sound analysis, but then it's hypocritical at the same time because you guys were the same people that was using, you know, that against President Williams. When we were saying it, we were sounding like the ones that were not being, you know, straightforward with the Liberian people. But now you see the reality of things and you're saying the truth. Look, I think that President Boyka has a lot of work to do in Liberia. The likes of Gregory Coleman and others are not performing up to task. They're only there trying to suppress the CDC rather than really doing the Liberian people work. And that's the thing with government, because you have to use a multi-pronged approach to solve, you know, some of the different, you know, problems in the country. So you got to think about doing, you know, drug raids. You got to think about doing security for the nation. You got to go back to go do investigation on past crimes and current crimes. It's a lot of things going on, going on all at once. You got to compartmentalize those things. And if you're not able to do it, you're going to feel on multiple fronts, or maybe even on all fronts. And I think right now they're filling on multiple fronts. I think they're doing a decent job with the drug. The LDA are doing, they're showing some gains. But in terms of political freedom, they're not doing a great job. In terms of solving some of the past crimes that they promised to solve, they're not doing a great job. They're freeing people from prison who have political links to them and doing all kinds of things that benefit them politically while trying to suppress the opposition. So for me,
Okay.
I just want somebody to answer that question now that I'm leaving it now.
Yeah, I think that all thing will come to that. I have my own view, but let's give okay, thank you so much. I think Keto was about to talk, and then I'll go back to Collins. Eris, not Eris. Keto, let's hear you.
Thank you so much. So let me respond to my old man, Mr. Bacon, the security aspect. Yeah. When he said that, I said the president, intervened into private citizen affairs that were in court. Maybe he forgot. And sometimes we understand that these people are surrogates, or even the Unity Party people, when they say things, they pretend to forget because they don't want to be caught saying lies or with the truth. So let me tell you, what his name, Bushben Keita, who is the president legal advisor, pick up the phone. At first, it was reported by the then culture ambassador Judy Andy that her case was being dropped from the court, and she said when she asked why the case was dropped, the judge told her that the president office called and said the case should be dropped. And he didn't stop that because it was like maybe Judy Annie was just playing politics. Bushben Keita himself came to the podium and announced that yes, he called the judge and told the judge, do you know about the Abdullah Kamara Act? Do you know about the Taylor Declaration? Drop that case against Prophet Key and drop that case against Prophet Key when Judy Annie did it. So who is Bushben Keita? The legal advisor to President Joseph Newman Boyka, acting in the executive branch of government, telling the judicial branch of government to do things that has absolutely nothing to do with the government, with the executive. And it happened. They dropped the case. So we're speaking of judicial reform. How is that possible under this government that makes sure that everything that goes to the jury, if the government, the executive has an interest, they step on it. They step on it, and we cannot see justice prevailing under these circumstances. So when I said that it will be difficult, if not impossible, for this government, of this executive, to even achieve a reform in the justice system, that's what I was trying to say. The justice system should be independent. That's what makes even the justice minister is the only person that disagrees with the president. But for your information, and now with news coming up, maybe LPR ain't get it yet, but it will come out, that the government under the justice ministry is trying to sanction and ban radio stations that oppose this government. And the justification is people that speak against the government, they are not providing fair play for the ground for investors to come in the country, to sanction media voices, critical media voices in the country. This is what is going to happen, or is happening now in our country. And they got a few radio stations that they are eyeing in the country. So we're speaking about the justice reform. And I'm so sorry that my brother going back and forth with the whole yesteryear story about this person did this, this person did that. The president spoke. I'm not, to be honest with you, I did not like when President Weah came out and said that whenever people die or assume to be murdered in a country, the last thing a president want to come and eat up and to come and speak is to bring that the dead victim down. No, at least you're supposed to give the justice system the chance to do the investigation, and I frown at that. Yes, I own up to that. I frown at that. I don't think that was the right statement or that was the right thing for the president to say at the time. All right. So, but you can use that against President Weah now to say he put his foot down on justice in the country. He didn't, because there were people who this government, Joseph Parker government, when he was in office under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that they indicted them on crime or criminal or crime in the country, like Brani Samukai. He was asked to make restoration on the people money. He refused to say he want to go to court. So they said, okay, go to court. He went to court. They court for him guilty. President Weah pardoned him. He pardoned him because he was supposed to pay some of the money back, and he paid the money bits and pieces here and there. You understand? So when it comes to justice system, you understand? I don't think the executive should be interfering with that. There will never be a reform in the justice system if the executive continue to behave the way they are behaving. To the extent today, they want to strangulate the justice system. They are not even paying the people that the Chief Justice have to come up with statement. They're holding on to the funds.
Let's make progress.
It's another form of strangulation.
All right, thank you. Mr. Collins, and I will come to you, Dr. Mali. I don't want these guys to be like they are stranger here, because Jerry is taking note to find talking point for the laborer. I'm not going to give him that chance. Many times you guys name were called. Let me start with Terry. Terry, your name was literally like a bubble gum. You want to say something before I go to?
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought my name was Chicle. But Mr. So, I listened to Evie saying, I know Terry jumped from one place to another. Did that. First, Evie, you got to understand, I'm not a politician. 1, 2, I never joined any political party in Liberia. 3, I supported President Bokar as an individual, which is my right. And I'm like every other person, Americans supported JMB. But guess what? He's telling JMB the truth. So when there is facts provided proving that JMB is not doing what is right, I will stand on the platform and tell you straight that JMB is not performing well. I want no job in the government. I don't want any job in the government. All right. And I'm praying for my people. I'm trying to speak on the basis for my people. That's what I'm here. Or I listen to Captain saying, oh, we bring him back, blah, blah. But you bring him back the time President Bokar was working on an alien government. You're bringing that back. Now, President, you talk about justice. Listen, Keto, Kabina Jane, all right? Look at what happened to Kabina Jane. The pooling of the Justice Ministry coming to accuse Kabina Jane falsely, impeaching the man from his position falsely. And the people you're talking about, oh, the judicial data, the people that are there, I think 2% on that bench were recommended by President Weah. You talk about what his name? Bani Samuka. Bani Samuka had just won an election, and they used political maneuvering to tamper with Bani Samuka and remove the man from an elected position. All right. After he won, why you didn't prosecute him before the time? But you waited until he won the election, then you persecuted him, then you went and put in a candidate in Lofa County election and won the man's seat, won the man's position. Then you want us to look at, then you don't criticize those kind of things. You don't talk about it. But you will talk about President Bokar and you feel comfortable criticizing. That's why I said most of these guys, they don't have Liberia at heart. You don't have interest for Liberia. Because if you have interest for Liberia, you will be balanced. And you will speak to the right issue, and you will speak to the ones that are right, and you will condemn the ones that are wrong under President Weah. But you guys fail to do that. You guys fail to condemn anything. The only person that can condemn something smaller than Evis. That's why for me, I see Evis to be an independent guy. In as much as sometimes we have something confrontation, but I see Everett to be an independent guy. But
no. Everett is not the only independent folks on this network. Dr. Jones and myself. Everett is not an independent. Everett maybe you can moderate.
Everett publicly say he's a weird shame, but sometimes Everett can be very objective. You know, and that is
why make me a moderate. Why you know he get aside?
My friend and brother Keto, I know he's a guy. He can twist it for President Weah when he get ready. He will say, "Oh, you know, President Weah didn't do that," but then he will twist it around. Then it means that you are not being objective. Be objective and speak to the things that President Weah did that was not right. That maybe even if he comes back, he will begin to straighten up and do what is right.
Yeah. All right. Mr. Jones, Mr. Bacon, you want to come before we wrap up here? I think Elvis asked a consequential. That's a very good question with respect to this, the president's trip. And there's some other information we have to verify those. But I think that was a good thing. We can spend the last few minutes and get back on take. But Jerry, do you want to speak on the plenty about this guy, your guide? They call your name in this whole thing too.
You know, sometimes I just look at it and laugh because see, the clear case is there and you try to make little or nothing out of it. He talk about the judicial system that a judge, the president office, or from the executive mansion call for them to drop the case. What the heck are you talking about? The judge will take a call from the president of Republic of Liberia to drop a case? You might be drinking some Fanta. You're drinking Fanta. These are three branches of government. Nobody is subordinate to another government. Then you sitting down here with logic at
call. Did somebody call?
What he said?
No, I'm asking you to whether somebody ever called. Is that true?
You asking because he make the case. I'm just telling you these are three branches of government and they are independent.
Terry is disappointed with what you're doing. I'm asking you the question. Did anybody call from the president office?
I said he make the case. He said somebody call. I'm just telling you these are three branches of government. They are independent. They are independent. And nobody will dictate to the government and say, hold on first, sir. The judge in Chima. Hold on, sir. The judge is in Chima. Please, you're listening. The judge is in Chima. And somebody going to call and say, oh, the president said. That's a yes say. It's not admissible in court. And you're going to say on national radio, on national TV, and you're going to make such a case. Man, that's a ludicrous. But anyway, that's the thing.
So, trust me, you're going to get your time. I like to, we got to hold people accountable here. Let me have Councillor Lpr-Tv Bishop. Your government. I'm about to put his fit to test right now. Mr. Collins.
So if I want to be the fifth, I want to be bad. But anyway.
Oh my God.
But Mr. So, the thing is, why you want to come to me? I thought you was going to go to Dr. Mali.
But you see that? You try to implicate you. That's what you want to do. See? That's a trick you do.
I will come to you. You say that one. I don't know why you want to.
So why if I want to plead the fifth only one? Why if I want to plead the fifth? Donald Trump. Why if I want to plead the fifth?
You would just show yourself as a bishop.
But to be honest here,
you say you're
not to be honest here, Mr. So, the lawyer of the president did call because he said it. And I don't know, these are some of the carelessness that our people can play that is not good. You know, for I will be objective. The lawyer for the president had no business calling to tell a judge what the law is. He don't have, like Mr. Bacon said, that is an independent branch of government. They're supposed to know the law. So by calling and going to national,
it's still an independent. So meaning Jerry Bacon is wrong, correct?
No,
well, I would not say he's wrong,
just my point.
He turned the question back to Keto. So he did not. Mr. Bacon is a security man. He didn't want to bring the foreign. But what I'm saying is that the president, the president or councilor did not perform well in that regard.
Okay.
So,
Now,
Mr. So,
hold on, let Jared, is Terry wrong or is still all right?
Oh yeah, if Terry runs, of course I'll tell him. Look, you call as a sitting judge, and somebody going to call you to say influence the thing. I'll drop your phone call. Look, I'm in chamber. I'm not going to listen to your nonsense. If you have this, come to the court, come before me. That's what that's what judges do. So for them to say, oh, the president called. Okay, hypothetically, let's say somebody called from the executive mansion. The president lawyer called the case. Are they alleged? Okay.
You say alleged?
Alleged?
I say alleged. You can't prove it. Do you have the transcript? Do you have the transcript? No. Do you have the transcript? Do you have the transcript?
That's not. Please take your 800 milligram right now because Jerry is about to make the song horrible.
Do you have the transcript? That's the office of the president called to that judge. The judge is on the bench and somebody going to interfere. I will bring it before. I will charge you for contempt in the first place for interfering.
You may get drafted.
Huh?
Ask you about traffic.
Mr. Barker, that's what you didn't hear it.
That's it. I will charge you for contempt. I ain't No. The judge is in court. The judge is in court. Now, some so-called lawyer going to call me. Some kind of lawyer. Well, who person call and say, how do I know you call me or you have? Yeah? No, hold on. How do I know the person according that from the president office?
Because the man came up to the public and said it.
Yeah, okay. But that's the point. That's why the judge is responsible. You as a judge, I will hold you for contempt for interfering. Okay. There's a penalty for it. There's a penalty for it. You as a lawyer, and you're going to call the judge in chamber and presiding over a case and say, I want you to make the decision. You know what? I will carry you to South Beach. I hold you for contempt as a lawyer.
I beg you, maybe tomorrow. I slept good this afternoon. I don't want to have back on is really severe. Okay. Keto, you want to say something quickly before?
Yeah, I just want to tell Mr. Barker, not knowing something and admitting to maybe I didn't hear it, or like Terry said, he pleaded fifth on that. You're not even supposed to go there because this is an established fact. It just didn't come from Judy Annie. I'm calling names. When Judy Annie said it, people doubted it until the president legal advisor himself came out on Spoon, went to Mika, and announced to the world that he did call the judge in chamber and said, do you know about the Table Mountain Declaration, the Abdullah Kamara Act? That case, dropped that case. And the next thing we know, the case was dropped. And then you telling me that we can have a justice reform under this government?
Okay.
This government?
All right, let's leave it there. Almost out of time. But I think
I hope you understand my point. Yeah, it's a judge, sitting judge in a chamber, presiding over a case. Our lawyer will dictate to that judge, you know what? I'm the judge. I will hold you for contempt. I will send you to South Beach.
Okay, so let me flip the question around because you're trying to hold this caller here. I want to know here, you heard Terry crystal clear, and this is where you see that's the danger for you people who have a political side different from us. Do you think that call was placed with the acquiescence of the president, or was he acting on his own?
Mr. So I cannot establish that, but what I am saying here to you tonight, I cannot establish that. What I'm saying here tonight, here is a sitting judge who in chamber, knowing the law of the land, and somebody going to call you in your chamber and tell you, say you will make that decision. You know what? That's nonsense.
You know that guy, Dr. Jones, Murray Jones is, if you follow the politics of Kekura Boto, that's exactly the late Kekura Boto, that's exactly when you are defending Samuel Doe, that's exactly Jerry Bacon is doing this evening. And then the late Eldo Komosaka were introducing the president, Mr. People, your president, Mr. People, your president. That's the other version you're doing. But that's okay. We know that. But I think Dr. Mali, Terry throws a question out there and was directed at you, which of course I had in mind as well to talk. Now, before you answer that, and you are asking the question, and I think Terry will be a good access to this conversation. Even in our homes, personal lives, different things, we have set priorities. things. This is to do this, that. When I'm going to work, I get on my deck, I'll have Monday, Tuesday to do list work. This is what I need to, this is what needs to be done first, second, third, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's good. But let's see if this refinery is it a priority now, or do we need to have some sort of solar panel electricity that potentially we could even supply the very Cote d'Ivoire land or the Guinea or Sierra Leone? If you build it's a refinery, building of a refinery in Basel, in Kima, or whatever, is it a priority now?
Well, sometimes a CEO, it is very difficult to defend the defenseless, you know. Sometimes it can be very difficult. Why it's true that Gerald Barker and Mr. Cullen are on the same dining room table tonight, telling us that one branch of government not supposed to interfere into another branch of government.
Precisely.
So they are telling us now that though we are time, it was legal for one branch of government to interfere into another branch of government. With the senator from Lofa County case, give me a chance, Mr. Barker. With the senator, with the Lofa County case. In this era, a legal mind from the executive mansion is also interfering with another government. Now it's an issue. It makes it very, very glaring now that it's difficult to defend the defenseless. However, so many things that happened in the past are creeping into this administration. Don't get me wrong. His Excellency is our president. What I expect, I'm now beginning to see who love His Excellency Joseph Boakai and who rather try to stab him in the back. I'm not beginning to use my lenses to see clearly in the discussion tonight. You see? Because if we are seeing that Joseph Boakai is our president and our first line of priority in politics when we win election is the protection of our people, the life of the citizenry. That's the first priority. Education don't bring security. They get security by itself. The crime rate in Morovia is not an easy thing right now. All right. So what we are seeing here now is if the message from the other side will be, oh, there's no money, the government will have to fulfill these things. They are trying in our direction. Something, you know, at least we will have opening ears to have a cordial discussion. But when we become on the defensive, then the question now is, what are the priorities if my life is not protected? What is that priority? Back to Collins, the police came from here. Some of the, I think it was some Black Caucus police went to see this guy, his friend, all other things. They were there doing what? Talking about a training package. All right? But my surprise here is this. This man lives in the United States. And as a matter of fact, most of the guys in our system there, on our team, they came from the United States. So I expected them to use their leverage and see how bad they can be of help to this government in their sector. And the police is one of the most sensitive area. I expected that to happen. So if the people go to Liberia, what I expected from what our police director is this: we don't have money, but this is what has happened in the past. We are after justice. We are not after pleasing ourselves. These things are happening. We are going to look into these things. But before then, this is a package we have prepared. So many million. We're presenting it to the American embassy, to China A, to the State Department. We want this training. We want the equipment. Killers, serials are on the run. People been killing from Georgia government. They stay here. They're not in JA, so they can kill again. Make a case. These are some of the things the independent mind want to hear. Instead of coming on the defensive to defend the defenseless, it cannot earn you a slot in that government. No. You see? So what we're seeing here is this. There are a lot of things, like for instance, camera, to put that whole Monrovia town under camera surveillance as another security mechanism. Even in my state, I can lobby with my senator. Trust me, 1 or 3 cameras will be planted in real life. All right. So there is no will. I don't see the zeal. I don't see the zeal or even trying to see where we're going to catch the killer. I don't see it. I don't see it. The question to you now, Mr. Barker and Mr. Collins, what is the priority? What is this government priority? Or do we have scatter priority? Or do we have a mismanaged priority? Or do we have a priority that we can put our hands around?
Point of information.
I come in now. Let me finish. I have my point of information. It was debunked. So just hold on there, Mr. Collins.
But your co-host, there's not our responsibility.
Yes, you don't interrupt the co-host.
I think you guys are interrupting now. I think we have to.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. You can't interrupt the co-host.
So we are now on the platform to preach for joy. We just want to be very clear about some of the disparities. So I will advise the Hadaha not to be going the area of comparison and other things. Just forget about that aspect there, because there are a whole lot of things happening that people are still dying in Liberia mysteriously.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You see, this is how the co-host, you see, that's the difference with the liberal to the FI group there. You can hear you see, my co-host is in charge. He speaks his mind. Unlike the liberal, when he comes on, he leave a co-host out and then talk after the show before they'll be friends. But Terry, I know you wanted to respond, so before we run out of here.
Yeah, the information I wanted to provide, I think the director that came to do a workshop, this was an ex-director, I think, of Minnesota Police. He's no more. He's not a director. He's no more a director. And he was giving Gregory Coleman a projected the stuff on the projector, giving Gregory Coleman ideas as to what led to this guy that died in Minnesota here during that time, during the Ebola crisis. What his name? The guy that they stuck on his neck and he died, and his story went viral. All right, in Minnesota here, he was giving. Because that he was trying to address the reason why King George situation went out of hand, which led to the death or the killing of several people, several civilians. So, and that Gregory brought these guys to give help to the police in advising them how to tackle these kind of things, protestations that will not lead to the killing of innocent civilians. So, and that was very helpful. All right. And Dr. Malik keep talking about, oh, you might rare America. No, we're running a government, a legitimate government on its own. We are independent. This policeman cannot go ask for money outside the country with all the acquaintances of the government. All right. With all the acquaintances of President Boca. He cannot do that. All right. And he is advocating, he has been advocating, he went on Spoon TV, he went on he went on FBS, advocating for police or to budget to increase, because there are other police officers that just came from the academy that have not been paid. All right. So what we need to understand, Dr. Mali, is that the system malfunctioning because of the previous leadership the system was under. All right. And you can say, oh, you can be talking about Joe Weah. President Weah, people talk about Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and President Boca 12-year leadership. For 6 years, they blame everything they struggle with on these people. And it is obvious because you ran the country for 12 years. If I'm coming to rule, you must give me a free passage. Definitely, I will blame you if I have mistakes. Equally so, President Boca government will blame President Weah government if there are glitches in his ability to operate efficiently.
So do you think, malfunction, are they overhauling those malfunctions? Or are they, so I'm asking quickly before Mr. Bacon comes in. malfunction, meaning you are talking about the failed processes or procedures by the former administration. Are they fixing them, or are they operating within the same malfunction? Then tomorrow another person come again, then it's a double water or double breach or whatever it is, because we'll be doing the same malfunction. Are they fixing them now or what?
Well, I think they are making approaches to fix them, even though there are still some similarities of previous government activities ongoing, which of course myself I frown on. But I'm going to wait to see the budget of 2025 to determine whether if it is going to be business as usual, as Mr. Marty rightly said.
Okay. Mr. Bacon?
You know, sometimes history is important. See, when you know history, you know where you're going and you know where you came from, where you are heading to. Here is our chief education officer on the show, the more educated doctor on the show.
Can you yeah, you can say
How come
The co-host like that, you can get
I'm addressing the man you can I'm addressing the man you can
hold on, I can't have you to address the co-host in such a condescending way of everything. This is not I just want to, everyone, you go ahead, but the idea.
Why you always put words in my mouth when I address it? Your focus in my mouth. Here's the thing. To you tonight, I can answer. Here's the thing. I was in 1996, Atlanta case. You know how long it took before they solved that case?
No.
Rudolph. No, I just want to say thing. Because you're talking about great United States of America. Rudolph. In Atlanta, he killed David Collette, Texas. These are cases, landmark cases. It took some time before they apprehend this individual. So I just want to make a statistic. These are records that in here. We're talking about modern country. And we're talking about Liberia. Folks, so His Excellency, these cases are on Mr. Boakai on his desk. He look at it every day and see how we can solve the problem. It's when reducing crime, that's what he been doing. Mr. Boakai, the first of a kind for former minister to be indicted. So he fighting this thing. There's a lot of things he is fighting. So folks, I don't want to hear and listen to Tabata, the priority number one, priority number two. Look, Mr. Boakai is on. His eyes like an eagle. It's shining. His eyes like an eagle. Who fighting? He want to fight crime. He want to fight everything the opponent has.
Where your eyes shining too?
Who?
I said, I seen where your eyes shining too.
My eyes is like a laser. My eyes are shining. The brighter while I'm talking to you. If I'm not shining, I'm just talking to you. My eyes are shining.
These Bobo don't get dry face. Creole man say, Jesus Christ.
As a CEO, can I make my last statement? I gotta leave.
Yeah, I'm having a headache right now. So
for my last statement,
I
just wanted to make point of correction on, not point of correction, man, but rather interjection. CEO, assuming I was appointed the police director today under the kind of a deplorable situation. The first thing I'm going to have a very thorough and comprehensive dialogue with the president, giving him my vision.
Lay out vision, correct?
And before I get there, I will identify the problem. Because I'm going to market an idea to the president. I'm not just going to have conversation with the president. I'm going to sell an idea to him, and he's going to buy it.
Independent folks speak.
Yes, as a police director. Number one, Colin just said it's not a police director place to be lobbying around. No, man. As a police director coming in, I will identify sources far from the budget of the Republic of Liberia.
Yes.
Especially when I came from the West, I will identify the area for the president, and he will be very relaxed because it's not going to have anything to do with the budget. And then one instrument from the president, and that instrument is cover letter, and it's obvious in administration. You can get cover letter from your boss
to validate your case.
Okay, come in, CEO, and buttress.
No, I'm just asking. We got to be senses in the far right group on this letter right here. I just want to add in a little layer to what you are saying. Get that coverage letter to validate your argument as to why you are asking for what you are asking for.
Okay.
I'm
not going to the president to tell him I need some ex-official from Atlanta, Georgia, Minnesota to come tell me how people die here. It's irrelevant. How people die here, you can't explain a video. That's irrelevant. What is relevant here is I come up with a comprehensive training package. Takes 7 to 1,000 or 1,005 police people in the United States for training. 6 to 1 year training. It's not about you. It's not about my office. It's about the Republic of Liberia. In that number there, downsize it to 500 that will just work on crime. How to get killers. Identify instruments that will help them in the process. You get a cost to it. You come now and lobby with your friends, the ex-police officer, the Black Caucus. These people, they always like when you cry on them for help. America is always happy. All right? Now, Gregory sitting out to that place whole day, he parading up and down, beating boot. That is not how you solve the crime. Solve the crime. And as a police director, that's the direction I'm going to go. In the first place, I will get about 300 people to go study forensic crime. I will come to Rhode Island and talk to the Liberian community to lobby for me how we can get camera planted in some of the top crime zone in Liberia to track criminals. Don't forget, this government came to power on the basis of change. Don't forget our war. So we're not talking about business as usual or saying the same story. Bring new ideas so when we hear it, we say, damn it, this police director, he offer real business.
All right.
Thank you.
That's how the independent folks speak. We found solutions, we critique, we talk about a problem, and then we are solutions-oriented folks. Not like you guys try to, even when you're drowning, you try to hold on to the stake to the tree that is also being taken away. Jared is going with something good here tonight. Kettle, what do you have to say
before I even close, the retreat they're having, those are very good things. Start the retreat where they recycle politicians, get people from abroad. Let them come bring some new idea for your retreat. But the people going down there, the issue of the 70s, the 60s, the old idea, they still bringing it out. Oh man, it's just disappointing, you know. And Joseph Boakai, His Excellency, his 40-year experience. The question now is it applicable in the 21st century in Liberia right now? Most of Joseph Boakai experience are applicable.
Hold your feet. Jared just sent a message.
We need something new.
Jared said,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
I know I will not go to look for no problem.
The
people are black in Panama.
Thank you so much. Okay, Captain. Yeah, let's hear you.
Thank you very much, brother. So so you know, like I think Mr. Celebrity, the liberal progressive is not on the platform, but his surrogates are here, and so the message will go.
He's here. They're talking to him.
The message will go. I think where he is right now, his heart is heavy. He's because I think it's a bad day, bad night for Mr. Back on the show. I mean, I when I look at it, I kind of feel for him because it's not just getting okay for him. he's drowning and he needs help. And Terry not even helping anyway. Yeah, but on a serious, on a serious note, on a serious.
Terry to the light jacket for him, he bounced by straight. I think we kick Terry out again.
Yeah, no, but on a serious note, for this government to realize justice reform from the court all the way to policing and all that, I think they have to make that side of the government independent of the executive, empower them with funds, with fundings, and like Mr. Jones said, Dr. Jones said, in my state, I don't know about other states, the police solicit funds from private citizens. They write letter, they even send me a letter to raise funds to undertake projects, like buy gifts for less fortunate people, do other projects, even though they capture in the budget. But if the budget is limited, they solicit funds. And you can also, the police is not limited, just like Liberia, the police can extend, hands, a request outside Liberia for constructive engagement. We need hardware, we need software, uniform training. We need all those stuff. Not just coming and bringing somebody who retired and another person can last. He's the chief of police from Minnesota, and not knowing the man's a retired police officer to go over there and talk about that to Liberian people. And look, this government and the people they brought in the system, they are not there to reform. They are there to antagonize, to agitate seditions or cities or people who serve in the past government, because they do not believe that other people should exist. And as long as people exist, they cannot rest, they won't get rid of them. And they got time against them to perform. Instead of performing, they are looking at CDC as an obstacle, where CDC just sitting there recalibrating. And they're afraid that CDC will probably come back 2029. So they have to put their house together. And this is just friendly advice. Put your house together. Try to rescue the country in all aspects. Education. Like we said before, you went to a seminar or wherever you went to talk about education reform. Bring strategy. And I heard the speaker. The speaker said something very, and the same thing I share on the show with us. I said they should target primary education, and from grade 1 or from even kindergarten all the way, so that they can give our children foundation. In the next 20 years, we'll be having strong foundation in education, security.
All right.
Independent people who will come, and when they arrest you, they're not arresting you because you are supporting CDC and not just in accordance to police. It will be police for all Liberians. Irrespective of which party you form, you independently do your job. The same with the justice system, all around. Unfortunately, it's not happening. So tell your people when they go back to EFBC or LBS, they should caution this government to doing the right thing in the interest of the Liberian people. Thank you.
All right. That's Walton Ketot, our senior contributor based in Connecticut. His reactions, but are converted independent. So this is what I'm going to do in the interest of fairness. I will allow you guys to have a conference among two of you. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go? So when you guys come on our show, we your full rights. We give your full rights. You say whatever I want to say. You do whatever you want to do. You can smash her. You can do whatever thing. But now with you, when you guys come, what are the channel for again now? Liberal calling you? You're a liar. So, Mr. Collins and Mr. Bacon, who wants to go?
I'm probably going to go first if you want.
You see, this is high. The high government sport. You bring papi, young boy business there, and then
wherever he comes, that's fine. I don't even worry about it. Look, that's the point I want to make. But wait on. Let me say this to you. Never, ever in Bwaka's life that he want to ostracize his opponents. That's zero. Mr. Bwaka would never, ever kill a fly Zero. For you to come here tonight and say, oh, they try to get rid of the opposition. Oh, that is not Mr. Baka. That Mr. Baka would never do it in his life. To enter his cabinet, enter his security, anybody who work in the security private or anything like that, honor his administration. Even under your administration, there are all people who have some deviant behavior and things, but honor Baka administration. But here's the point I want to make. Dr. Mayor make a good point that issues that we need to train our people. I always say on the show, it takes money to make money. If we want to have a successful law enforcement, we got to spend some money. You know, I started my career in Liberia, you know, as a law enforcement officer. So these are things. But the question, we don't follow through. Now, people who send abroad want to go home, their training staff read our RIA, which of course myself I experienced. I was speaking right now. Okay, so these I think we need to make some reform. It's not just sending the people though. I can attest to it. Let me give you one story quick. One of those I was sent to Texas to study accident investigation. Went back to Liberia. Certain thing happened. There were cases who went. The people were right on the sidewalk. So it's complicated and it is not. All depend the leadership, especially those that are heading the security department, the NSA, the fire department, the immigration, all these security forces, the custom, there are other custom there. So these people would need a good leadership who would make projection or go and argue the case to the president, Mr. President or Madam President. These are the new things we want to do. This is the 21st century. We cannot do a business that unusual. And these, I think, we need to see. And we see it here, like Dr. Miller said. If you go to England, everywhere you turn, there's a camera in that country there. Every street in London, if you go there. So these are things people see, and we need to, it's take money for us to make money. I understand the frustration, but are we ready to make these changes? Are we ready to spend the money?
We should be asking you that question. Not you. We should be the one to ask that question to you.
Okay, let me do a follow-up. That's why we had the other first branch of government. We allocate the money. It's the legislature, the executive, executive. So the money have to go to the legislature. If I was director of police or director of immigration or director of custom, I would go to the legislature themselves. Yeah, the chairman on our committee for security or the chairman of foreign committee on foreign affairs committee. These are the issues that are affecting us, and this is the issue that we need to approach. We need the money, and not just go in front of budget time. That's the only time you go to the how you call it, Capitol Hill. Not only during budget time, but go there and brief them every 6 weeks. You got to keep knocking to that door for them to allocate their money. Not just from the president.
Okay, Mr. Collins, you're going to be sending home here tonight, but this sort of Sunday morning call by conversations from time to time immemorial, consistently from government to government is so much heartbreaking. Now, here we are, people screamed yesterday and will continue to scream. They are in authority now, and Mr. Bacon is right. The first branch of government. And I know you are one of those arguing the point here. People making crazy money. And some of you say, yeah, because they're working into those places, so they should make whatever they want to make. Institutions that should make society works, that should have civility, like the police. And it's a very difficult one. Sometimes I feel bad. Because when these institutions that are there to safeguard life and property, if they are underfunded, it makes it very difficult to do their job. Now, why should we even question police that they are corrupt? On the man in the street, he can't barely take, we're not taking care again now. So I will do it another time. They can't feed their family. They come by. The other guys are still making, we throw on these people, they're still making the big salary. Big money going missing. Investigations over investigations. Priority is not being set. Gregory, he's a very good guy. I've been listening to him. His open there, his community engagement is correct. But I think having a former police chief to have been like a secondary. You need to have who is the current police chief now, because these local states, they come every year, certain time, they kind of upgrade, they, change things and do stuff around. They can be good assets. So now it makes me to wonder the reason the president has 60% delegations. Within my guess, I'm thinking perhaps I'm running ahead of my shadow, that when these people come, they will meet their counterparts to share notes, to talk about these things. We have your friend Darius Dillon, Nyomli Kanga Lawrence, Kesselly, and Kesselly get by, he said, I'm calling his name, but we can call their name their public figure. But yeah, these people pro tem. You go in for a major meeting, you have over 15 staffers, you go and do your own thing. Another senator who is the chair on foreign affairs tend to cameraman when they are not able to take even 1% from their office. Let's be honest. So what kind of record what sort of report are they coming back with? Let's be honest. Our people, they're so mean, and that's just been selfish. They mean to themselves until their meanness is taken into government, and government becomes the victim of it. So who doing their recording? Who's taking notes? One tell me you can't, not that there's no money. Look at her budget. You called here the other day, and I will allow you to call her again. But they're not able to take 1%, as if they do not have press and public affairs director. Also, and I think the president should act. The reason the president taking these people is the president cannot be in 555 places at the same time. You have LBS Director General going. Mind guess, the reason you are a company that when you go there, then you make friends with your counterpart, with the Chinese or whatever, network there. And when you are going, they're not just labo crew, say labo talk, just talk. You must have a set, because once you are included in that delegation, you must have your to-do list. Okay, if I go to America, maybe I'll be with a national public radio. This is the need of the Liberian Broadcasting Corporation. Hey, I'm here. This is the help that I need. I need training. I need cameras. I don't know who's the person that is traveling. Those days when Samuel Doe was traveling, Steve McConnell, and all of these people to go. That's it. Liberian New Agency must be represented.
That's why you're meant to.
That's why you're meant to. I'm glad you know that. Paul Bean, Alvin Fisk. Those are the people that we used to see reporting as soon as the president touches down. How many media people travel with our people and they're going anywhere? Though they will make those lists, it's troubling. And this is why we are having this issue. Now tell me, Terry, let's be honest here. When she talking to her counterpart, that's the pro tem, I don't know how the assistant works. I don't want to be something. She will be writing something. She will comprehend.
The people didn't bring back any report, Mr. So I was listening to Dara Dillon today. He didn't say anything.
Because he can't say nothing.
Nothing he presented.
I don't want to sound like Donald Trump here. It's because it's the same thing. This is the guy who said he was going to give a global security speech. On my phone. What does he know about global security? I think they were called Jared Bacon. That's his area.
The man even show on the video. The man had a video from
it's all because the paradigms these people get when they go into the traveling allowances is huge, is fat, and they're so damn mean, so that they have all of their staffers in their office. But the only thing they go for them to come from Ghana, they come to work to capital.
Already.
It's troubling. But when they are going, they are unable to include one person to be a recorder. And I think President Boyka, he needs to act on it. Because he said to his traveling to, I don't know what a report that been coming, Anthony Kesselly, he wants to be the guy in charge. They're not giving poor Kula for fun the ability to do her job. Just say, what's his name? What was his deputy minister of public affairs on though? When the president travels, you're supposed to go ahead to pave the way to make sure everything's running. But everything only day and day because they the one can be the one part of it. This is why you see the leaks and the recording come, because you have people working with them, you're working with people, and you can't throw your hand back, only you alone will go for, then guess what? They will put a camera on you and then they sell it to media news outlet. But we are about to go. Maybe I'm saying, is that a Tabata I'm saying, Terry?
You are on course, Mr. So what? You are on course. That's true.
Jared Barcom.
Yeah.
Is that Tabata?
No, 1 second. Let me say this. When I was president for the Liberian Formal Law Enforcement Association in USA and Canada, we collected items that was supposed to send to Liberia. And at that time, Mr. Stephen O'Donnell was the state police commissioner or chief of state commissioner of state police. These things were collected, were going to send. But because of the corrupt system that we had, we pay for the envelope. Today is Sunday. We pay for the envelope for DHA to go and DHA bring it back because there was no kickback. And today, this thing then they all got right in the warehouse because what the government, because after 9/11, it was from government to government. That was the old before 9/11, you could have shipped it, but because it was from government to government, they needed a government or signature for them to authorize it for us to send these things. And the state department, let me say state department, the state trooper gave all these things because I know Mr. Steve O'Donnell personally, and we were willing to go all these things. And guess what? Because there was no kickback, and this thing then today, I don't know where they are. So thank you. Just want to make that point.
They're going for safekeeping.
Okay.
But
did you guys see that video that was trending recently? They don't took the media in his office and were telling them that everything that in your office, he bought it from his pocket. It was not given by, they were not government money.
Where you take the money from to buy things from?
Thank you very much. That's that. And he, I mean, with no fear of God in that man's heart. The man said, you see the seating here? I'll fix it. The tile on the floor, I'll fix it. The doors there, I took it money from my own pocket. When you came to the place and you say you declare your asset, you say you had $30.50. Where you took that money from to fix the office?
That's how the man been working by. The man working. The man can get the money.
Money, my brother. It's not his own
No,
money.
not the man money.
Let's not really get this. Let's Terry make it Mr. Collins, go ahead.
So Mr. So there it is, right? I believe security need to be done holistically. And I think that Gregory Coleman did the right thing. That I believe was a priority to bring a former ex-director that dealt with the George Floyd case. It's a recent something, 2020. These are people that are abreast with information and strategies to come and inform for a 2-day or 1-day workshop to inform his colleagues and the police guys as regarding how to fight protestation and so, because definitely CDC is coming with more. So it's a priority. And we saw right after that, we saw another protest that led to rock chunking and all that. So that particular tutorial temporarily was very important. But in order to holistically address security, we will not depend on Gregory alone, because Gregory now, like Mr. Mali, Dr. Mali said, Gregory is supposed to travel, so to send Liberian off. The man is advocating for police officers that have just graduated from the academy and they didn't get salary. They didn't even get paid. They're not being paid by government. The man trying to put them on the payroll because you're operating with a very low decimal budget. Then you're talking about carrying. So what is the priority? The priority is to first start paying those employees that are jacking from the academy, which is very important. And the manpower of the police do not have the manpower. The other day we talk about how borders are exposed and nobody there to take care of, to man the border. You don't have sufficient immigration officers. You don't have sufficient police officers. So the first approach I think President Walker needs to do in order to bring some level of security for itself is to create the opportunity for electricity. Electricity is very important in the country. Electricity also helps to provide security. Electricity, pipe-borne water, education, information dissemination is very important. It's vital for our safety and our security as well. So all these things need to compile in itself to bring a...
So quickly here, that Terry, I was talking that earlier. Building the refinery now and building some sort of solar panel that can even supply our neighbors where electricity would be stable, security will be maintained, the time will be visible, it will attract businesses, small businesses will be able to, people who say in LA cold water, who doing other things, will keep them running. Which is a priority now. Do they want, if you're giving the choice of a refinery, is it building a refinery, is that a priority? I don't think so.
I don't think, because you see, if you're talking about building a refinery, you need electricity to provide for that refinery. Even
How
though
you going to get a producer to my country, Grand Lofa Road.
Right. So even though it will create job opportunity, but it will be for only a minute portion of people. How much person that refinery can employ? You got 5 million people, you got 80 or 90% or 70% of the population will have job. When you build roads, when you bring electricity, power, and pipe-borne water, it will create job avenue because people will be moving up and down. The electricity will attract investors or people that will come and open the economy because they will be able to get power supply at a cheaper rate that will help to employ people all over the country. So these are priorities that need to be looked at. You don't just go, all refinery will be in one place. How much are you going to employ? Even if you employ 10,000 people, is that sufficient enough to
please call your delegation? We don't need refinery now. We need $3 billion can give us a strong electrical, some solar, divide the country into zones so not to overload the electricity. We don't want people houses getting on fire. Divide into zone, country into zone, small country, and we have electricity burning good and well.
Mr. Soul, information coming to me, unconfirmed, but it's information coming to me that the reason why these guys announced that refinery will be built in Grand Bassa is to give Darius Dillon an edge in Grand Bassa. If to promote Dillon candidacy in Grand Bassa for the Senate in Grand Bassa.
Bassa does not have the voting population to change the trajectory of the elections.
No. I'm not talking about the presidency. I'm not talking about the presidency. Darius Dillon is not running. Darius Dillon is not running in Montserrat County.
You're going to run in Bassa?
You want to run in Bassa.
But I have many. Your CDC, your CDC discussion.
And the start, trust me, to get the Bazoulin all riled up behind this.
My man, we're not going to discuss that thing for 2
hours. You're going to challenge Besonga. That's what he's saying. You're going to challenge Besonga.
That's the information that coming to me, and he know you can't do nothing with Besonga over there.
My man,
okay.
Anyway.
Okay, guys, that's how
Darius Dillon will not win election in Montserrat County again. I can tell you for sure. Darius Dillon will not win in Montserrat County again because he and Yombly, they have colluded the entire political. You and this woman, the way you're acting is not good politically. I don't understand it because you're too close, and he posts the woman a lot. He defends the woman a lot, like he is the pro tem. Let her defend herself. She's the potent.
Our traveling companion now.
Yeah, let her defend herself. You are responsible. You are responsible. You control the biggest county in the republic, which is Montserrat County. And I'm not saying he must not give her compliment. I'm not saying he's not supposed to post her sometimes. But the way he does it, I have a problem with that. I don't think it's augusting well for them. For his political sojourn in Montserrat County, I don't think it's working correct for him. That's just my own small opinion.
But the brother can lie so bad.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you for the show, brother. So,
all right, we'll be back here.
It was a sad night for brother. Jerry Barkon. He had to run.
Now he run away. Jerry Barkon. He literally pleaded the fifth in a special context, and Fatu said analysis. Okay, Keto, man. Thank you.
All right. Good night now.
All right. Okay, well, folks, that does it this evening. We want to thank you so much, Mr. Slangat. Good to have you here. Thank you. It's always good. Happy Sunday, and hope my guy, my man, is doing well, the family and everybody. I would say thank you so much. Anthony Dixon, good to have you here as well. Prince Master Choir, Mr. Paul Double. How is Philly doing? I would say thank you so much for being here. To Alice, good to have you. Alice Weird, right here in my own Ocean State, JJ Johnson. Yeah, Esther, 60% delegation, 60% delegation. These were things that were found on yesterday. And trust me, all of these people, they come by, they get nothing to say to these institutions, agencies that they represent. They just go to do a sort of picture showcase, sit down somewhere looking at people's skyscrapers. Yeah, and Martin Collins, he's right. Most of the thing, this one of the person that always, the people don't like it, but he writes, he speaks what he wants to speak, and he speaks true to the power because he believes in this man and he wants this man to succeed. So he's not just defending anything. He defends and then he takes critical position to disagreeing with the president, the administration, in a very objective. That number is not, we number is not correct. But that Chinese phone again. That Chinese phone, we can't take certain number too. Yeah. So Olen, the president going to be in the US coming weeks or so. And we are talking to the folks. I know one of the places he's going to be will be in my own state. We are doing everything possible to give that coverage as well, and if possible, if they will allow us, if and only they will allow us to say. But I think we are all on an obligation to speak truth to the power. Our officials, by this time, people making plenty of money, and other people not getting the share of their own country for one of the reasons why we see things is happening. How many of them are willing to make that sort of political sacrifice? Do a significant cut, and those money can be apportioned to other agency of government. Look at that conference tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to use our authority, the Liberal. We're going to use that to see whether we can have a comprehensive conversations over the recent conference here in Nima as well. With education, and you listen to the speaker, all the facilitators, and that it was very great. But you have 5,000 teachers volunteering. So if those people are volunteering, and I heard people from the education authority, public school now becomes the most least, and they are focusing on their private institutions. And one of the speakers said, when you go in the lunch room now of this school, you don't even see a teacher there because by the time the lunch can't even kind of run to their own private places. Nowhere student can go to go get a help. That alone. So all of these are all problems and we need to address it. But we wish our country to want the president to go out there. Wherever he goes out there, we want to have a set priority. I feel I'm just minute, not just even portion. I don't think building a refinery is a need now for the country. We have one. It's serving us, even to get petrol to those places. Those road conditions need to be fixed. But if the Chinese folks can give 3 billion, said that would be good. You have a stapled electrical panel, solar that can even supply the very Guinea and the Sierra Leone, and we will get money. There will be a job opportunity. So unless we kind of misplace our priorities, it's just not about getting things done. We want something that is sustainable, something that can take us through the point. That's all we want. It's not just about get this. But I want to also to double check. I'm not sure, but getting information to one of those companies is under sanctions with the U.S. government, and if that is proven to be right, then what that becomes, because at the end of the day, the U.S. dollars come from Fair right here to New York. And so how would that be given to the government of Liberia? But overall, we wish the president to work in his search to make Liberia to be what it is. We just want the right thing to be done. And these people who are traveling and just traveling, they come, they don't give no report. It comes back to the same old thing that we found on yesterday. You protect Darius DeLong when he was Charles Walker Bronski used to carry him. That's how he got his exposure. And that's why he banks on. But now they are going, they're not able to care one person, even though they have more than 10 staffers. They have public relations person, they have whatever they have, but they are unable to just care one person because they just do not want to share. That's just complete meanness. Until then, folks, that does it this event. We're way over the time here. We'll leave you with this beautiful gospel song for this event. Bye-bye. If you're from the Maryland side, from the Gribble land, we say it. Have a pleasant event, and we are visiting Maryland County this evening. Mazura Gisi, thank you for sharing this beautiful song with me. The host of Dancing for Jesus, he played this song this morning and it was so touching. God has strength. What a beautiful song there. That's a culture out of Liberia. Always be a good evening. It's about our viewers. Song here this event. Fine, beautiful gospel music. So say thank you so much, Mazola Gisi. That's the lover boy of Lpr. He plays a song this morning on his program Dancing for Jesus, and I asked him to share it, and he did because it was so touching. So say thank you so much. We hope this evening was a pleasant one. We do not provoke, we do not tease. We do not say it the way you want us to say it. Entertainment is still less, even though it's a component of the media industry as well. But I think the MC Caro and the other folks, they can do their part. We want to do a quality content sharing, news sharing, and conversation. And that's exactly what we do. And we respect your views, your opinion as well, whether you agree or disagree with our talking point. That's part of the conversation. We also disagree with people, so it is obvious that people will have a second thought of what we say. But what matters, we must say is speak the fight and not be too politically correct, because this has been the path all along in government, in our communities, in organizations. Every and each one protect and defend his or her own alligator. I think that is unacceptable. What the time cut off of us, yes, is we are way over the time here this evening, but I think it was done for a just cause, so that's not a problem. By God's willing, we'll be back here, same time, same station, by God's willing, to a more program. But in the meantime, whether you are in the ocean state of Rhode Island, wherever you are, if you have a memorable occasion you want to spotlight and share with our audience and the global stage, let us know and we will figure a way. With that said, comes October, there will be a big honoring program right here in the ocean state of Rhode Island. And Library Public Radio will be right there to capture every image right before your very eyes.
Hello everyone, my name is Foye, aka Diamond. I want to share a little bit about someone incredibly special to me, my mother, Rose Johnson. My mother is the heart and soul of our family. Her love and strength and unwavering support has shaped my siblings and I into the women we are today. She has taught us the value of kindness, resilience, and compassion. On October 26th, we will be gathering and honoring and celebrating our mother's incredible journey and all the lives she has touched. We would be delighted if you can join us on this special occasion, which will be hosted at the Botany Club in Cranston, Rhode Island. Your presence means the world to us. Bye-bye, love you.
Just say right there, Ty Diamond, aka Diamond Ty Poye in A7 Crown. What? Blessing? Am I correct, Alice? Yes, clock or whatever it is. She will be honoring her mother, and I believe she wants to share this beautiful time. I know her we all were in free time, came a very long way from the wilderness, came Waterloo. And I think it's good to give recognition, and that's something we all must emulate. People that have been very, very much good to you. If you know that, it's time to give their flowers while they are still alive. Do not let somebody get laid down and see you then all with white blanket, white shoe, glove, get a Michael Jackson when do break dance, and then you say you want to honor, you want to bring crocodile tears. No. This is the best time. Let them eat their own good soup or cow hair on then when they are alive. Let them see and let them know. With that said, folks, we'll say thank you so much and have a pleasant evening. By God's will, and we'll be back here. The Lpr will be back here tomorrow. Have a pleasant evening and bye-bye.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events, such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious